Gentlemen and ladies, my name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko had real power? I do not know why I'm talking like a vampire. And, oh yes I do. Because this month is a Halloween day. Or Halloween. So happy Halloween. Or any other holiday that you guys chose to celebrate. Or whatever you're watching this. So, without further ado, let's get right into the what if. Oh, and let me explain the backstory before we do things. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's explain the backstory. Theme. So, and how we got to the point of this. So, well, So back then, like in this storyline, like in the past, there was these people like that have real power. Or it's similar to quirks, but they have such overpowered abilities, like powers, that even like no one knows where they came from. Compared to the canon version where some kid born with powers. Yeah, like that kind. But no one knows why it is. But during the past, so basically it decayed. Like basically, now it used to be in the human possessions, and then now it's gone. Like it disappeared. So, but then it left it, or so everybody had, or so getting into a more modern day, like a time skip, where quirks are properly introduced into the world. the quirks are now in this alternate timeline are weaker than power, basically real powers. So like there was one character in the past that actually had gravity powers, but instead of them, or instead of him using, or instead of him have to touch the object to make it float, it was just his brain. And no matter how heavy the object is, one had explosions that even like one tap of his finger could just be enough to, is like similar to a nuclear bomb. So then a time skip to like modern day, where quirks are now watered down versions of of that stuff. So like Ochako has to like touch stuff with her hands to make it gravity, and she gets affected by it. So so let's begin. Zuko and Zumi been born. Zumi was born as a quirked person. So was her brother, but or actually, her brother was born with actual powers. Yeah. So, but no one knew Zuko was the most overpowered person in the entire world of modern day. Because what he was born with, when I say real powers, I'm not talking about like him summoning pizza stuff. No, no, no. I am saying he basically has powers of infinity and zero. No, infinite zero is his powers. That makes him like way more powerful than anything. He was also born with a quirk. That even his quirk and his powers were both like his powers boosted his quirk to like nunly levels. So no one knew about it except for Quirk Doctor. Because at age of 4, when Inko took Zumi and Zuko to the Quirk Doctor, Quirk Doctor actually did something that was... He tried to, like, water down Zuko's power level by taking away his quirk. And, yeah. And telling them that he's quirkless. In order to protect them, or protect the humans from, or basically all of the people from it. But Zumi, after the Quark Doctor, they leave, and they ignored Zuko for a long time. His parents ignored him for a long time. His friends became like his girlfriend, like basically was just friends with him, ends up dumping him, and she ends up going for Bakugo. And yeah. So he felt abandoned by everyone. And so he was living on the streets by himself, with no one cares about him, as everybody was. But then a young man, a adult named All for One. Let me remind you, he is in his prime before, so that it was before made that big like hole in the head, basically, like blown that part out. So All for One tells Zuko, I never met a person that has more overpowered abilities than you, Zuko Midoriya. As he turns to look at him, I know that I know who you are. Sorry for me like stopping in the middle of a sentence, because I'm trying to word it so that so you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But some of there's this one video that, or someone left a comment in the one of my past videos that I did, that you guys said, I could tell that you're not a very good storyteller. I was trying to word it. I was trying to word stuff correctly so that I don't end up. Because every other YouTuber just says whatever they want. But, yeah. But besides that, they just make sure, be nice to everybody. That's all this world needs, to be nice. So, let's continue. So, All for One and tells Zuko that he's more welcome to the League of Villains. Okay. As All for One and Zuko gets teleported to the bar where, or not the bar, to the, or to, yeah, to the bar where League of Villains were, or actually, it was just him and All for One. As All for One tells Zuko that you're the only one that has so much power, Zuko, that even the Quirk Doctor, or actually, All for One says the exact same name, or no, says a name of the Quirk Doctor. He tried to water you down so that to protect the humanity from your powers. And as Zuko, whose eyes widen. Wait, are you saying I'm a threat? Your powers are a threat to everyone around you. So that's why I know how you're going through. It's powerful. You were born with a quirk and a powers that even your powers are more powerful than we expect. Ezuka looks away. So you're saying that I'm more powerful than all of everybody that has quirks? Yes. You're the only one. And that, as a quirk doctor pops out of nowhere, yes. Don't worry. I'm keeping your quirk away from you until the time comes. Okay? So then, yeah. So All for One and Quirk Doctor says that. As Zuko's like, it's a lot to take in. As when he puts his hand right on the counter of the bar thing, it obliterated the entire counter without any hesitation. Sorry. As he concentrates, as the time reversed on the table thing, went back to the way it was. So, he's like, yeah. So then, a time skip to 15. Zuko is now a he's a leader, basically, of the League of Villains. So he had a plan. Zuko had a plan And and or so they basically Zucker did pull or he did grab the schedule for the USJ thing and all that stuff. Is there like, man, you're more pro here, more pro at it. And with all this power, as Zuko looks away, all this power, or there's, feels like we've been doing this a long time. What do you mean? As the All for One says, the hike feels like we go to USJ and attacks them, but All Might wouldn't be there until like so-called Tenya Ida goes and gets some help with dealing with the rest of us. Yeah. And so they had a lot of students. So basically at USJ, Zumi, Bakugo, Ochako, like rest of them went to like basically UA. They all became pro heroes. Or no, they became like Class 1A students. They go to UA or USJ. And what came out of the portal? A special designed portal was green. Or as they see a guy standing there. Ladies and gentlemen, please, and welcome to the villains. As the guru says, as All for One, or as they start like, this kid's doesn't have a quirk. You're such a weakling, aren't you, Mr. Izawa? As he flicks his fingers, as Mr. Izawa gets knocked out, as everybody's like, Mr. Izawa, are you doing okay? As he was knocked out, he can't talk. You're such a weakling compared to me. Now, as everybody, including Ochako, was like, what's this, like, dark motive that I've been feeling? As Ochako could feel all of the negativity leaving her body. Quirkless. Useless. As Kirigiri had a Nomu who teleported, but in this alternate timeline, there was no, like, villains group of at USJ. But that's okay, because Zuko was between three people. Zuko, Kirigiri, and the Nomu. That's it. Those three are powerhouses in their own way. As name 13 is like, oh boy, if Mr. Izawa is knocked out, he as she could feel the aura radiating off of Zuko's body. It can't be. As she could see, like, basically, Zuko's is what he can't be. As I thought it was just the stories. What's wrong, 13? Or Sensei? It's that boy is... have you figured it out, Mr. Or Miss 13? Or should I use your real name, identity? As Zuko says her identity name. And so everybody's like, how can... As they said, oh boy, this villain is not just a normal villain. This boy is more of a powerhouse. As he walks up, go ahead, send Tenya Ida to get All Might. As Zumi's like wondering why her brother is doing this. Why are you doing this? As Zumi says. Because you guys told me that I was quirkless, useless. And some of you even gave me a nickname of Deku. But you guys were the weak ones. You know why? As he says, you know why? That all of you guys have quirks? They're basically watered down versions of the powers. Example, Ochako, whose quirk is watered down from the gravity, destruction. The gravity destruction allows the user to basically control gravity of objects with their minds. But because Ochako has a quirk she has to touch something to order to make it float. Or Kosuke Bakugo. Whose explosions are weaker than the people back then. Some of them have nuclear powers, like nuclear explosions, that are more powerful than Bakugo's. So, when you call someone quirkless and useless, you're basically calling them weaklings. As that's how I feel. A weakling compared to all of you. I'm more weaker than every single one of you. As Zuko says with a snarl. So now let me show you why. You know why, don't you? As Zuko says with his angry eyes. As he does the same thing what the Whitebeard did. Here, let me show you what Whitebeard looks like. 1 piece. 2 piece. They should me though. And White mirror. So, this one. And here. So this one, where, yeah, well, Zuko did the same thing. As he grabs the air, as he basically in the same stance. But before he did it, he says, Nomu, get behind me now. As Nomu and Kirigiri went behind Zuko because he knows what he's gonna do. As Zuko did the same thing what Whitebeard did, but on a whole grand scale. He basically just, what he did, when he pulled down that air thing, everything crashed, everything. This is what true power feels like. As everything that was around him was the islands or the entire city, as everybody's like, what's going on? As buildings are leaning towards each other and destruction. As he says, this is what real power feels like. Not those crummy quirks. Quirks, you know that. As Zuko says, as everybody's eyes widen. It's basically, this is the usual saying in the, this is what the usual saying in the real world stuff says. I have an army. And we have the Hulk. Basically. Or the Avengers saying, we have an army. We have a Hulk. Yeah, basically like that. But it's I have the entire Marines. We have Whitebeard. Oh, crud. No! Boom. Yeah. Well, that's what it was. As Zuko's powers are no match, or everybody could outmatch anybody. As everybody was screaming, pro heroes were trying to push buildings, holding buildings back so that the yeah, as Ochako can't believe the name. Yeah. Ochako can't believe her once called boyfriend actually had this much power to begin with. So, as Kirigiri says, this must be the ultimate power that you who have, Zuko. Infinite Zero is pretty devastating when as the villains or everybody was scared except for the All Might. So he shows up to USJ to see what is going down. Now, as everybody, including like Ochako was like went out of there or got out of there fast as they could. Because they know that he's way more powerful than anybody. So All for One, or so All Might shows up. The Nomu, who basically gets defeated by All Might, like in canon. Azuka's like, I just need to take a nap. Azuka says, as he, but I don't need to, actually. You know why? As All Might says, why? All the hatred or scared kids, all of their negative emotions are going into my body. Just imagine anger, scared, and every negative emotion is going through me right now. So now, I can perform it again but this time, I will make sure to end you. As he punches All Might right through the chest, but not all the way through, just, you know how Whitebeard punched that giant guy, where, and the giant guy just went through his chest, or like the big shockwave, yeah. It's like that, but with All Might. Oh, boom! Boom! He got sent flying backwards. As he looks at Kirigiri, and Kirigiri tells him, we need to leave because other pro heroes are here. Yeah, I agree. Bang, bang. As the bullet that Snipe shot or tried to shoot came out as bubbles, like boop, bop. Wait, what? I turn all weapons around me into bubble guns, basically. You're basically shooting bubbles out of your guns. But that's impossible, as Snipe says. As Zuka leaves, don't mess with someone that has more power than you do. As Todoroki can't believe he's sweating because Zuko just sent All Might flying, punched, and he told Zumi, his own sister, of reason why she should be the weakest one, or all of them. And every single one of them was like, so after that, they go back to UA, and they're talking all about, like, why did he say that? It's not like him to say that. As Todoroki knows what it means. As All Might was basically got sent flying backwards and almost killed him. And Yeah. So Zuko ends up so Todoroki's like, if if our villains are, he must have been brainwashed before. No, he said, name has, we should be the weaklings. Did you hear what he said? Yeah, I heard what he said. We all did. As everybody says, he called us weaklings because our quirks are too weak for our watered down versions. And how did he know that which powers our quirks came from? And like, he only used me and Bakugo, as Ochako says. And so she says, but if he was this powerful, I should have stayed with him together. As Bakugo's like, yeah, we shouldn't. Or as some of them said, some of us needs to quit judging other people. Because people like him, when they're running around, we should be the weaklings. Because of him. As everybody agrees with Zuko. Yeah. So, so All Might even. So Zumi walks up, so a couple days have passed. Let's say one day she hasn't really talked to her parents, but then earns, since after what Zuko said to whom, yeah, as Inko walks in, and she walks right up to Zuko, or walks right up to Zumi, and tells her that what do we do? Or what did we do to, as Asashi and Inko apologize to their daughter, but then their daughter told them that, I think my brother's right, or actually, I think Zuko was right. We need to stop calling other people weaklings or quirkless, because who knows? There could be people that have powers that are more powerful than us. Like Zuko. As Zuko says that to Zumi. Or no. Zumi says that to her parents, as her parents or because reason why they ignored him, and they also told Zumi, and because they abandoned him, basically, yeah, they banned him from, yeah. So, and plus they told Zumi to not call Zuko her brother anymore. So, so then the time skip to All Might versus All for One. As yeah, so before or so after he put or after Inko and Sashi, like Inko and Sashi put Zumi to bed, like because she has school tomorrow thing. Inko tells Sashi that we need to accept him back into the family. Yeah, I agree. Because if he just went back in the past and told ourselves that or if we knew now compared to back then, we would have just kept him. But then, yeah. So a time skip. All Might versus All for One. Or, time skip to All Might versus All for One. And, yeah. Because what reason why I do a time skip is because most of it is canon, except for basically the little change to like the camp arc where they did send Toga, or like the villain sent Toga, Dobby, like original team, but Zumi ends up basically saving Koda from dying and all that stuff. But then yeah. And off screen, like before the time skip thing, before that, Zuko did kill Hero Killer Stain. Because, so then, All Might versus. So now we get to now we go to All Might versus All for One. And All Might was down, or is still standing, but he's so injured that he wants to lay down and just, like, accept his fate. But there is one thing that he has to say to Zuko, because Zuko was there. As he tells Zuko that you can become a hero. And everyone, or all of us, we all say sorry to calling you quirkless, useless, and all that stuff. As Zuko, basically All for One says he's lying to you, Zuko. No one in this world cares about you. The only people that do care is me and the League of Villains. As All Might says, I'm not lying. We all say thinking that same thing. As everyone, he could hear everyone apologizing to him about, like, calling him quirkless, useless, and all that stuff. as he, as All For One's like, you're wasting your breath, All Might. He's already been mine since the very beginning. As it goes, looks away. Him, as his heart starts to beat again. As he never had this much care, like basically caring about somebody cares about him. The entire city, and they told him that you can become a hero and do all that stuff. Everybody cheers on him. As Zuku's heart starts to like beep, 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 going faster and faster. As he had tears coming down his face. And he's like, basically, he never had. There's always the voices of, and like voices in his head of calling him quirkless, useless, stupid, is now fading away. You can become a hero. Oh, Zuko, we believe in you like we believe in ourselves and all that stuff. Every second. Yeah. So Zuko ends up basically winning every fight. As he looks at All For One, as All For One is about to use an air cannon, or use a beam of light, should I say. As before it even went off, Zuko just comes in with a haymaker and punched All For One in the face, or what's left of it. Boom, or as he says, now, let's, because I know, as he tells his own, or tells everybody that, now I know why. As Zuko comes in, as he basically did like what Gran Torino does in like video games, but way more brutal. As he tells Zuko that Zuko tells All For One that's like the quirks, or no one should ever had. As All For One basically gets killed, like instantly. As the search quirk was ripped out of him and puts into his pocket, and then he grabs All Might this time up. And before this, so then after he tells, there's always this one burning question that I always wanted to ask you, All Might. Am I a threat to humanity? Because as he did tell the detective reason why the All for One recruited him. 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 And the entire Class 1A and Class 1B, when they saw when they heard what he said about Zuko was a threat to everybody. Am I? As the detective says, no. Whom? But I think the quirk doctor taking away your quirk and you having so much power anyways, I think if you were born with, or so, when I do know that you were born with quirk and powers, both types. I think what it means is that you're basically a balance between the quirks like the rest of us and powers like the past was. Yeah. But I really want my quirk back so that the... Okay? Azuku's... Who said that with a expression. As the quirk doctor actually told him that if he wants his quirk back, that he just needs to ask. So they basically went to the hospital where quirk doctor's at. Quirk doctor was doing all that. And so then he's like, sure. And so he injects the Zuku's original quirk back into his body. As the quirk and his powers were known each other's. So it's basically both of them were now a balance between him, or between Zuko, his power, and his quirk. So he's basically stands between pinnacles. As he came back to, he actually goes to UA. He's in Class 1A. Because he was just a victim that was basically all that stuff. So yeah. So then Bakugo's like, guess we were wrong. I think the quirk doctor fooled us all. Yeah. But hey, Bakugo, no matter what I said back then, we were still friends. Yeah. And they both bro fist each other's. And then Ochako ends up basically dating Zuko because she asked him. She literally asked him. But before she even asked him about going on a date thing, she got cut off before. Not the using a blade to cut her in half. No. He just kissed her right on the forehead, or right on the lips, basically. And yeah, she got her answer. And she knew that he didn't actually hate her. It was his sister or actually, his parents did show up before, and they told him that he's welcomed back, and yeah. So then Zumi now starts back up of calling Zuko, whom her brother. So yeah, because yeah, what I mean by starting it back up was that she was calling him her brother before that instance. Yeah, and the court doctor ends up behind bars because for lying to a kid that then almost took out the entire world. Home. And plus, I forgot to add this detail. The Zuko actually knew what the powers manifested from. So when he went into a grave, a ancient grave, should I say, and he knew who it was. The first person that actually died. As Zuko walks over to All Mine, or no, he walks over to the first one. As he could see, like, the ghost of the first power user. And yeah, he says, "Thank you. I will live on forever." Sorry. That was me, not a character who didn't sneeze. So yeah, Zuko says that to basically the core, or the dead, or the ghost guy, as he flies up to Zuko. I know that. So all of these people, all the Class 1A students, when they saw the ghost, wait, how did you know where it manifested the powers from? As Zuko says, well, my powers of infinite zero. I have all the knowledge of the entire universe, metaverse, and all that stuff. So then, yeah. But some of it, the metaverse stuff, is pretty dark story. As he tells them, do you want me to tell you one of them? Sure. Okay. Everybody sits down. And so, hey. There's this one that I never want to meet in real life thing. Is that this character, imagine me having a quirk called evolution. Like, fully upgraded version of it. As Zuko explains everything to, as when everyone, when Zuko told them the entire story about what happened to, you guys know which character I'm talking about. The one universe that I always can never escape from. is called What If Deku Was Doomsday One Shot storyline. Where, so if you guys don't know what it means, go look it up on YouTube. I won't have a link to it because I do not want to be that kind of person. So yeah, so he tells the whole little backstory of why, as everyone was like scared. Wait, so you're saying the Quirk Doctor did that to you? So as they're like, wait, so you're saying all of, or so you're saying Quirk Doctor did all that stuff too? Like he shot your mother, took you in, and as Inko was there, but she, when she was hearing, like, she heard all about that, she was like, whoa. Her eyes, like, basically, I'm trying to find the picture. Yeah, her eyes looked like that with her mouth. As she can't believe that a Quirk Doctor from that alternate universe did that to her and took her son in to get experimented on and all that stuff. So, yeah. So Zuko was like, man, plus all of you whom died because of what I did. Or the Quirk Doctor turned me into a ravenous, like basically a creature. And like just killed all of you. As they can't believe. Did All Might stop you, or as he looks away? And everyone knows that answer of when he looks away and has tears coming down his face. No one could ever stop him. Nobody could stop the Doomsday Zuko. As everybody heard that, wait, so you're saying he's more powerful than name All Might? Yes. Yes. He's probably way more powerful than the Prime All Might too. So yeah. So then yeah. Now time skip. So I skip over the overhaul arc thing. And so Ochako did get married to Zuko and had 3 kids. 2 of them have powers of 0 and infinity. Zuko could sense it inside of both of them. And so Ochako's has the power, or so the 3rd kid has a quirk of gravity flame manipulation quirk. So basically she can touch fire, air, like controls it. And she can make it, like basically have gravity. Like make it like float up in the air. So yeah. And Todoroki got married to Zumi and such and such. Yeah. So I hope that you guys have a great day and talk to you guys a little bit later. So bye.